bit about your life philosophy, because one point that I found interesting is that it seems like you have a bias towards betting on young people. I mean, one of the guys who is the co-founder and CTO in this battery production, he was fairly young when he started, right? So, I mean, can you talk a bit about your experiences with, letting young people thrive, basically? So if they have the passion, the IQ, there's a big upside in also getting them involved as soon as possible.
Well, I think that's part of part of my mission as an educator. That when you do research at the university, you have two products of the research. You have the research results themselves, which may or may not turn into a new technology, which may or may not turn into a startup company, and so on. And then you have the person. So I talk about in my TED talk, my last words are inventing inventors. And so you take the student or the raw material, and you mentor the student, and at the end you have another inventor. And when I travel, people ask me, how do you teach creativity? It's a very hard question. I don't have a creativity class. It's the way we learn behavior. We don't sit people down and say, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and so on. We conduct ourselves with integrity and hope that people follow that model. You have to model good behavior. And it's the same thing with how do you teach creativity? You take people along the journey of invention, and then they eventually figure out how to unlock their creativity. That's what I do. It's not the model of education. The student is an empty vessel, and I have the water, and I pour water into the vessel and fill it up, and then the student leaves with all this knowledge. No, I say, the student has capabilities, but the student has to release those capabilities, grant himself or herself permission to think, to ask the audacious questions. It is forbidden to forbid. They say it in Paris. Be realistic. Ask for the impossible, and sometimes with enough ingenuity, the impossible becomes the inevitable. But you have to be willing to stand back and watch them struggle, and sometimes they stumble, and then you give them some more pointers and so on, and eventually they become colleagues.
That's a great answer. When you mentor people, do they typically come with you with the same questions, or is it every person is so different, so it's just about guiding them and helping them find their way, basically?
I think it's the questions will be different because the project will be different. I mean, everybody on the liquid metal battery, we had about 20 people at the peak, and they learned a lot from each other as well. And then when we were working on molten oxide electrolysis, that was a different set of challenges. So different questions requiring different answers.